You see how they be worshiping that cross?
Girl, in them stones?
Right. What's that around her neck?
And what is that smell? Why they be burning sage like that?
Oh, man, that ain't the Most High.
Nah.
No rocks.
No rocks.
No stones.
No stones.
No rocks. No wood.
No stones.
No rocks.
No rocks.
No stones.
No stones.
No rocks. No wood.
No stones.
No rocks.
No rocks.
No stones.
No stones.
No rocks. No wood.
No stones.
No rocks.
No rocks.
No stones.
No stones.
No rocks. No wood.
No stones.
You worship the creation more than the creator, the one who made it? That's crazy, baby. He's the greatest. Understand the fruits that it took for that labor. Whatever you make will obey him. Walk with the grace and the patience. Your life should be a demonstration. See the goodness of the Savior. We're not above the creator, but just be happy what he gave you. Imagine losing his favor. Come back to the Father, he's waiting. Speak with the power that he gave you. You know his words is amazing. Put that idol back, it's tainted. My God is alive, what you drinking? Too many items on the table. You know that rock can't save you. And that wood's definitely engraving. I hope it makes sense to the babies. You're greater than what you've been making. Them holidays is pagan with many images in the basement. Don't get trapped in the matrix. Babylon is sinking. Be confident in how he made you. Idols come in different angles. Careful on what you're entertaining. Clean water, come drink it. You want truth? Now here's the truth. Raw cut and untainted. Ha. No rocks.
No rocks.
No stones.
No stones.
No rocks. No wood. No stones. No rocks.
No rocks.
No stones.
No stones.
No rocks. No wood.
No stones.
No rocks.
No rocks.
No stones.
No stones.
No rocks. No wood.
No stones.
No rocks.
No rocks.
No stones.
No stones.
No rocks. No wood.
No stones. Ain't no idol worship over here. Nah, we keep the law. Thou shalt have no other gods. The other ones is false. Don't be like Sarah, bowing down to things. Keep it with his own hands. Them statues couldn't even eat when Abraham gave a command. You idol money? Oh, that's funny. Say you love Yeshaya too, but would that love truly remain if he took it all from you? Your crystal's blue, green, yellow. Talking about it keeps you mellow. Really, you just worship it, worshiping the devil. Summoning all of them spirits, burning sage just ain't the answer. Talking about it, clean the air when really all it bring is cancer.
Shalom, shalom. Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Welcome back to the Born of Levi experience, brothers and sisters. Oh man, I am excited. I'm happy to be here. And y'all heard the music from our sisters. The name of the album is called Thy Kingdom Come. Thy Kingdom Come. Clap it up. Right? Do yourself a favor and go check out our sisters' album. All praises be to the Most High. Beautiful album, beautiful project, man. No rocks, no stones, no idols, man. We got to put away these false idols. All right? But welcome back to the Born of Levi experience, brothers and sisters. I'm your host, Deacon Hazak, here on G.O.C.C Media, and we're back for another Thursday edition of the Born of Levi experience. Y'all see the title of discussion, Waking Up from the Lies, right? Or Waking Up to the Lies, however you want to frame it, right? We're going to be talking about the digital IDs. Listen, we're going to be talking about the digital IDs. Very, very, very important conversation that we're going to have. We're also going to talk about politics, and we're also going to talk about religion, right? All three of these work hand in hand, and you're going to find out next on the Born Levi experience. Don't go nowhere.
This is the Born of Levi experience on G.O.C.C Media.
Yes, yes, yes. Welcome, 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 brothers and sisters, to the Born of Levi experience. And we're going to talk about it, man. I really appreciate you guys coming in. And like I do every week, if I am coming in nice and clear, brothers and sisters, please drop a quam in the chat so I can know that my audio is nice and clear. and we could get started. If my volume is too low, let me know it's too low. If it's too loud, let me know it's too high. If it's just right, just put a quam. All right, appreciate it. All right, I see the quams coming in. All praises be to the Most High. I hope you all had a blessed week. I hope you all had a great week, man, thus far. Man. All right. Appreciate all the quams. I appreciate all the quams, right? But, you know, this been praise the Most High. The week is almost done. Excuse me, because I had a trying week. It's like the second week in a row I'm coming back to y'all and telling y'all the devil's been busy. Listen, the devil's been busy, but we gonna keep persevering. We're gonna keep, I gotta play that. We gotta keep persevering. We're gonna keep persevering. There's nothing else for us to do. We gonna keep persevering. That's how the Father made us, right? We're soldiers in Christ's army. So it don't matter what comes our way, no matter what fiery darts come our way, brothers and sisters, we're gonna stand, right? We're gonna stand and we're gonna push to the end. Khan, I'm saying Khan like y'all can respond back to me in real time, but Khan, right? But all praises be to the Most High. We are here. The Most High has been merciful. And clap it up for the Most High. He's been merciful. Right, we all still here, right? We've left our homes. We've came back home safely. Our children are safe. Our loved ones, our family members are safe, full bill of health. So we praise the Most High throughout it all, right? Nothing could separate us from the love of the Most High. All praises be to the Most High. So y'all see the topic of discussion. But before we go into the topic of discussion, I definitely want to talk about that. And I pray that you all had a blessed week thus far. And like I said, you know, welcome. Shout out to everybody who's here. I see y'all, a lot of familiar names that are here. And if you can, on your way in, please hit that like button. Hit the like button on your way in if you can, so that way other people can know that I'm streaming right now. And this message could get to as much people as we can make it reach, right? It's our duty to do so. So hit that like button on your way in. If you're new to this channel, as your first time here, help us out and subscribe to the channel as well too. Your participation means a lot. Like I said, I hope you all are having a great week, right? I hope you all are having a great week, because the week is just going to get better, right? The week is just going to get better. Where am I? Right here. Because, as you all know, the Hebrew and Bible Academy has already started. Why is my screen looking like this? Let me minimize it. There it goes. Yes, the Hebrew and Bible Academy has already started. It started Sunday, September 7th. So if you would like to be a part of the Hebrew and Bible Academy, and you want to learn, and you want to dissect and dive into the Bible and break it down and know the dark, deep mysteries, the Hebrew and Bible Academy is your place to do so, right? Visit us at historytimes.org and enroll, right? The Academy's theme is the revelation, mysteries of the spiritual realm, right? You don't want to miss out. We got the creation, the origin of the spirit realm, right? Understanding what the Most High meant when he said, let there be light. Right? You'll understand and know the mysteries of the origin of the spiritual realm. Tracing the serpent seed, how Lucifer became the chief Satan. Yes, there's many Satans, but there's a chief one. Christ and the keys to the spiritual and to spiritual warfare. And like I said this last week, every day you may be operating next to somebody who's spiritually possessed or demonically possessed. That crazy person that you think that's crazy, they not crazy, they dealing with spirits. So understanding Christ gave us the keys and how to understand the spiritual realm and how to withstand it, so to speak, right? The craft, the priesthood of Satan versus the priesthood of the Most High, and AI technology and the mark of the beast. You do not want to miss this academy. And I did this last week. If you've enjoyed and benefited from the Hebrew and Bible Academy, drop a 1 in the chat right now. Drop a 1 if your life has been blessed, if you've benefited from the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Drop a 1 in the chat so everybody could see how powerful and how blessed that Hebrew and Bible Academy is. There goes all those 1s. There goes Ephraim 33 put like 8 1s. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Look at all of the 1s rolling through. So do yourself a favor, brothers and sisters, join the Hebrew and Bible Academy. And I also got to do this again before we start. I want to shout out the brother who sent me this cutting board. I got to show it on the screen again too, but here's his website. Please go out and support the brother. The website is Timber and Me. Timber and Me. I'm going to drop the link to it in the chat so you guys can also have it as well. So it's Timber and Me. And I want to show what you can receive by purchasing your cutting board. Like, he personally inscribed G.O.C.C. media on it and inscribed, and all of this is inscribed. It's not a you can't rub it off. It's inscribed. It's etched in. I don't know what tool he got to use it, but it's really dope. Like, he got the Born of Levi experience carved into the cutting board, so you can get yours personalized to your fitting. It's beautiful. I don't even want to use it. I just want to hang it up. But my wife already got to it. I already see scratches. I left it downstairs for a little bit. There's already scratches on it. She already started going to work on this thing. So, visit that brother, timberandme.com. Let me put it in the chat so you guys could also visit on your spare time. Let me go here. Put it in the chat for you. Timberandme.com. There you go. All right. So, now let's get right into it. Today's broadcast. Waking up to the lies. And I titled it this way. And it's and a lot of the inspiration of a lot of these conversations that we've been having as of late is always from something that I've seen. And like I said, it's usually through social media. Social media is now the new news, is how we usually get our information. Social media platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You guys are getting information through YouTube as we speak. So this conversation was sparked in my mind after seeing a video. And after seeing that video, I was like, yo, it's so crazy because it's always been like this. And I believe it's just the fact that we're coming into the truth. A lot of us are waking up to who we are, understanding that we're not just African Americans, understanding that we have a greater purpose on this earth than what they've told us. Everything that that they've been showing us is a form of a lie. Or some would say it's hidden truth. I mean, if you conceal the truth, you might as well call it a lie, right? But a lot of truth has been hidden from us, and we've been playing the game since we got off the plantation, wanting to integrate, wanting to be like the oppressors. But that's something that Israel always. When I say Israel, I'm talking about the children of Israel, right? Those of the diaspora from the cargo slave ships scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. I'm not speaking about the Israeli state of Israel, but I'm talking about the children of Israel. When I say this has always been a problem for the children of Israel, I'm talking about us always wanting to integrate with the other nations. And that was always our problem. The Most High always gave us our own stuff. We had our own special gifts. We had our own place, our own land, our own talent. But we would always look at the other nations and be like, I wonder what they're doing over there. And then when we get over there, we find out, okay, they're into child sacrifice and all of this weird stuff, but this is how they get in their power, and we wanted to be a part of that. And that's something that we always suffered from, wanting to integrate. And it's no difference from when slavery was abolished, and I quote, was abolished, and then we became free, quote unquote, y'all see the fingers, we became free. We felt the need to want to integrate. They came up with the slogan, separate but equal is equal. But we said separate but equal is not equal. Looking back at it, I wish our ancestors actually went along with the program. Because separate but equal is equal. And you can only say it's equal if you're not comparing it to other people. So if we have our own community and I'm separate from you, but we all have everything in common over here, I don't care about what you got going on over there. But they was able to sucker us in through politics by getting us to cast a vote, right? Suckering us into feeling like we have to cast a vote because our vote matters. And that was just their way of getting our sentiments and seeing how spiritually involved we were. Spiritually or politically involved the black community was. And by them seeing how involved we are, that's how they understand, or how much they know, how much they have control over us. But if we're not participating and we're not voting and we're not, engaging in any of these things, they understand that they're losing control. And it's exactly what we're experiencing right now. The fact that a lot of our people have walked away from politics, and not just politics, but we walked away from a certain party, political party. That also is showing them that we're not falling for the old song and dance anymore. We're not being entertained by the same verbiage anymore. So they understand that a lot of us are waking up and we actually want more for our vote. I mean, if you're saying our votes count, if you're saying that our votes matter, right? Shouldn't I see the effects of where my votes is going? But it's like for years, we were okay just being able to vote. Not really caring about what the vote is going to do. If I'm casting my vote for this particular person, I don't care what that person's doing. I mean, this is how we were thinking back in the days. I'm able to vote, so I just believe everything that this candidate say that they're gonna do. And year after year, we always get the short end of the stick. Nothing in our communities get fixed. All of the promises that was geared to our communities and our people never get met. And then another 4 years roll by, and then is the same promise. Y'all President Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Y'all remember him saying that? Do y'all remember hearing him saying that? He said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. So being black was tied to a political party. A lot of people don't understand that. And it's so sad because even though we know as believers in Christ that politics, we don't got a dog in the fight. I don't got a horse in the race when it comes to politics. I don't got no money in the game. So when it comes to politics, whether it be Republicans or Democrats, they're all working for the same chief at the end of the day. And they all say the same verbiage, but, they have different causes, somewhat different causes. And now that we waking up to the truth and we waking up to who we are, and we're understanding the political side of things, especially for me, because when I was younger, I never really paid attention to politics. Like politics, I didn't feel it had anything to do with me because I didn't understand it. But you have to understand politics, especially if you understand the Bible. Understanding the Bible comes with understanding what's going on politically in the world. So now that we're more involved in the scriptures, of course we're going to be more involved politically, because everything is prophetic. We can see it happen through scripture. So now that I'm older, we're older, and now we're more spiritually sound, and we're reading the Bible, and now we're paying attention to stuff now. And now when we analyze the two parties, the Republican side and the Democratic side, on paper, the Republican side more so caters to a somewhat of a Christian foundation, right? It's much more morally sound when it comes to how the Republicans view things. It's a little bit more Bible based, so to speak. They're bigger on family, right? Morality, right? Life, pro-life. But when you look at the Democratic side, it's all about welfare, and now it's about funding for I would say the civil rights, and I can't believe that their agenda became a civil rights movement. But the LGBTQ community, their civil rights of existing and being able to have funding to do certain for certain medical procedures and pushing certain legislation to have certain educational programs in school from their side. We start to notice, I'm like, okay, the Democratic side is more demonic, even though it's just a different side of a coin. But spiritually and biblically, or in a religious sense, the Democratic Party more so leans towards satanic practices and lower level thinking and all. I'm like, yo, this is what we align with. This is what we were aligning with this whole time. So this is why Joe Biden was able to say, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. Because when you look at the demographic of people on the earth, they usually pin African American or black people to the degenerate side of life. Like, that's how they look at us. Like, we're degenerates. Like, we don't care. We're not big on family. We're poor. We're on welfare. We are on food stamps. But in actuality, we're not the majority of the people who's on welfare and on food stamps. So now, waking up to this understanding, let me share this. Where am I? Matter of fact, let me come off the religious side of a little bit. I mean the political side, because I'm going to go into the political side, but I want to do it step by step. So, like I said, we woke up to understanding politics. We understand that, all right, it don't matter what we do, how we vote. Our votes is not helping our communities. Our votes is not helping our children. Our votes is not really helping the black man's cause. The black man and woman, Hispanic man and woman cause is not really helping us, because I'm still, and I challenge anybody. Let me not say challenge. I don't want to ruffle any feathers, because I was getting ready to say, believe it or not, there's still some people in truth who are still tied to a political party. And I'm not judging them. Not by any means. I will never judge you for what you believe. That's your stance. But there's still some people who are tied to a particular party. I mean, that's on them. But like I said, I'm gonna show you why I titled this conversation the way I titled it, because of a particular video I seen this week, speaking about this so-called government shutdown that we're actually experiencing right now. I think right now we're in day 9 or 10 of the shutdown. And a particular senator was speaking about why the government is actually shut down. And I'm going to play the video. And then this is the foolishness that they've been doing while we were asleep this whole time. It's just that now we're paying attention, and it's like, yo, what? Because like before, they rather us have been asleep and just been voting aimlessly. That's what we were doing. Just voting just to vote. But if I'm voting, my vote is supposed to count for what I want, for my particular cause. That's how the other races of people vote. They usually vote and want to see, okay, if I'm voting for you and my community is voting for you, what are you doing for us in exchange? But for some reason, our people, we're the only people who don't expect anything in exchange for our vote. It's like we're too loving to a fault. If y'all understand what I mean. It's like we're so naive and so loving to a fault that that they could just run, the other nations could just run over us and we wouldn't even care. Like when back in the 90s when those cops beat, and I'm talking about beat Rodney King. They beat him like he was a criminal. Like they beat him live on TV. I think it was on the side of the highway. They just beat that man. And my man came on TV talking about something. Can we all just get along? After you just got your head beat in like that, you talking about some, can we all get along? Where was the can we all get along when you was getting your head stomped in? I'm talking about they was beating this man like, I'm like, good Lord. And I was a little young to really understand what was happening to him, but I knew that something was wrong with that picture. Whole bunch of white men just beating this dude. So it's like we're too loving to a fault. Like we excused the other nations just running over us and expect nothing in return for it. But guess what? You know the Most High said that he's going to do that to us. And we're going to read it a little later. The Most High said he's going to allow the nations to do that. The Most High put a spirit on us to be like that. But what happens when you wake up and the Most High wakes you up? And then you start to realize, okay, this is what I was accepting this whole time. Should you still accept it? Should we still say, can we all just get along after getting our head stomped in for centuries? Should we still be talking like that? So we're going to come back to the political side of stuff. But I want to address this first. Let me pull this up. Digital IDs, brothers and sisters. And I don't know if any of you guys heard of it or if you guys know what's happening when it comes to digital IDs. Best believe digital IDs will be coming to the U.S. in the near future. But let me play this. Let me not play this, but let me show you all this. What happened over here? Let me show you all this. Right? So, as you can see on the screen, it's a summary. So this is basically all right here. All right. So Starmer. So who's that? That's I believe he's the UK's prime minister. So it says Starmer backs UK-wide digital ID to verify right to work and rent. Y'all heard that? Should I read it again? Starmer backs UK-wide digital ID to verify right to work and to, I guess, pay your rent. On Friday, Keir Starmer revealed that the UK will implement a compulsory digital ID system to verify individuals' eligibility to work and rent. So if you want to rent from someone, you got to have a digital ID. If you want to work in the UK, you got to have a digital ID. Interesting. It says following a previous decision against implementing ID cards in July 2024, growing public frustration over illegal immigration. So now pay attention to this. The same gameplay that they use over there, they're using here. Pay attention. It says, I'm going to read it again, this bullet point right here. Following a previous decision against implementing ID cards in July 2024, growing public frustration over illegal immigration and increased small boat arrivals prompted the government to reconsider its approach. So they had it on the back burner for a while, but when they seen the influx of immigrants, they was like, nah, we got to do something about these immigrants. So like, there's about, you see right here, it says there's about 318 sources for this article. This is why I like this app, because it filters out all of the, like Donald Trump like to say, fake news. So there's 318 sources with the same conversation, right? So there's about 300 articles, right, from around the world. You got it right here. How digital ID cards work around the world. See, digital IDs will, look at this. Digital ID will tackle illegal working and deter migrants, Starmer insists. Remember that. That's the game plan, right? Don't have current plans for digital ID? Carney asked about replicating UK immigration plan. See that? Look, they all talking about it, right? They all talking about it. There was another article right here, right here. This one has 15 sources. Introduction of digital IDs will help control illegal immigration, say Labor MPs. So now they're claiming to put in place digital IDs to combat illegal immigration. So we thought that they were letting in migrants, seeking asylum. But I believe that they used that to now be able to implement something else. For every action, for every action, there's a reaction. Remember, we spoke about this last week. Order out of chaos. We'll create the chaos, then we'll bring the order. Because understand, brothers and sisters, none of us is stopping the prophecy concerned in Revelation 13. It has to come to pass. That mark that everybody will be required to have to be able to buy or sell or whatever the case is gonna be implemented. But right now, what we're seeing is the steps to the implementation. So they're using the migrant crisis in the UK to say, you know what? Since there's so much migrants, we got to verify who these people are. If you don't have a digital ID, we're going to consider you a migrant. You're going to have to go back to where you come from. Matter of fact, you can't even work if you don't have it. So everybody has to have a digital ID in order to work and to rent. So let's take a look at this. Fair use. Fair use.
And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory.
And you see, he said we're gonna make it free of charge. So they're practically gonna give you the mark. You're not gonna have to beg for it. It's gonna be right there. And that's what also tells me that when they finally have the system in place and they actually going to start making it mandatory for people, it's gonna be right there. You could just go down. You probably could just go down to your post office and get it. Go to the local pharmacy and go get it. Go to the they're gonna use the DMV. You could go to the DMV and get implanted. It's going to be at your own will. But they're going to make it in such a way where you're not going to be able to do anything without it. So you're going to have to make a choice. So he said they're creating a free digital ID, free of charge.
For the right to work by the end of this parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID.
You see that? You heard what he said? He said, you will not be able to work in the UK unless you have a digital ID. Let me let that sink in just a little bit. And he said by the end of his parliament. I don't know how that system work over there. I don't know what the end of the parliament is or what year that is. If somebody's from the UK and you're watching, drop it in the chat. Let me know, because I don't know. But he said by the end of their parliament, you will not be able to work if you don't have the digital ID. Interesting.
It's as simple as that. Because decent, pragmatic, fair-minded people, they want us to tackle the issues that they see around them.
What is that?
And of course, the truth is, we won't solve our problems if we don't also take on the root causes. Mark Carney, who stormed to victory. For too many years, it's been too easy for people to come here, slip into the shadow economy, and remain here illegally.
You see? And it boils back to migrants. So and here's the thing, y'all. They let the migrants in. They didn't just come in here. They didn't just come out of nowhere. Y'all let them in. So they let the migrants in so that way they could be able to implement this. So everything is always stages, brothers and sisters. Understand, a lot of things that we may see on the news be smoke and mirrors. It be a stage show. Everything. They've been talking about Charlie Kirk's the Charlie Kirk shooting for God knows how long now. But best believe that's going to be used to implement something else. So they got to create the issue and make it publicly known that this is an issue. All right. Y'all complaining? All right, here's the solution. We got it. We're going to fix it for y'all. What? Oh, yeah, too much migrants taking y'all jobs? All right, good. We got it. Digital IDs. And it's going to turn from that to be like, oh, okay, there's too much people buying stuff. There's not enough supply for demand. All right, mark of the beast. Get chipped up. If you don't get the chip up, you can't buy no more, so it solves the problem, right? That's what they're going to do. So they gotta draw it up. It's all a script.
Because frankly, we've been squeamish about saying things that are clearly true. It's not just that it's not compassionate left-wing politics to rely on labour that exploits foreign workers and undercuts fair wages, but the simple fact that every nation needs to have control over its borders. We do need to know who is in our country. Our immigration system does need to be fair if we want to maintain that binding contract that our politics is built on. Otherwise, it undermines trust, undermines people's faith that we're on their side, and their belief that the state can and will work for them.
See? They created the issue. Y'all flooded the country with the migrants. So now, to alleviate the migrant crisis, let's just give everybody digital IDs. And that way, if you don't get a digital ID, you can't work. And this is the reason why they let the migrants in, to start taking the jobs from us, lower, jobs that we're not doing. Let them flood the economy. Let them flood the workplace. All right, so now they built the infrastructure. They built the roads. They did all of that. All right, we don't need them anymore. All right, digital IDs. Now, because of the migrants, right? We need everybody to have it now, just to make sure you're not a migrant. See how it works? So now everybody's gonna have a digital ID. You see? So the UK is already lockstep with the Beast program. Because mind you, when Babylon falls, power is going to go back to Rome, to the 10 horns. Power is going to go back to Europe. So, of course, Europe is going to be the poster child for whatever it is that that's going to be implemented throughout the four corners of the earth. Right over here, there's going to be a lot of pushback. And like I said, I have my theories when it comes to that, according to scripture. There's going to be a lot of pushback from this place, from America. And this is what is going to cause the 10 horns to hate the whore, to hate Babylon. But, there's a lot into that, but whatever the case is. So they're going to be the poster child for whatever's because best believe it's coming here next, right? Because same thing, we got the migrant crisis over here. So the UK gonna be like, yo, we already, we got the formula, just give everybody digital IDs, right? And that's gonna solve your issue, right? But like he said, over there in the UK, he said, yo, if you don't have it, you're not going to be able to work. And am I saying the digital ID is the mark of the beast? I'm not saying that, but it's a step closer to it, making something necessary in order for you to survive. Implementing something that will stop you from being able to buy and sell. Sounds close to the mark to me. And with that power, I don't know how many of y'all heard of this, what happened at Vietnam. 86 million bank accounts frozen overnight. Why? Because of mandatory biometric verification or lose access to funds. Effective September 1st, 2025. This was last month. A couple of weeks ago. This was implemented in Vietnam, where they wiped away 86 million bank accounts. Hold on. I should have went here first. Look. Digital ID. Digital ID, Vietnam to delete 86 million unverified bank accounts. And you only will be considered unverified because you don't have the digital ID. See how it works? It said, starting this month, right? This article was 16 days ago, and there's 4 sources on it. But it says, starting this month, banks all across Vietnam will begin deleting over 86 million bank accounts that have not been verified under the country's new digital ID scheme. The State Bank of Vietnam are calling it a system cleanup measure. This cleanup is part of the government's digital transformation plan. See, digital transformation plan. Because at the end of the day, this Bible says, Revelation 13 says, all, both small and great, free and bond, everybody in the world will go through this system. See? The digital transformation plan, a drive to modernize the country's information infrastructure, and more specifically, a drive to promote a non-cash payment. See that? Non-cash payment. So they're already showing you that they have the power to just stop you from buying and selling by just deleting your bank account. Because what's in the bank account? What's it when you look at your bank account? It's just numbers. Do you physically see paper? Do you physically see the value of the money? No, it's just zeros and ones. It's just numbers. Who's to say you can't wake up tomorrow morning and everything that's in your bank account is zeroed? Up. 1 second. 1 second. My camera just went out. Give me 1 second. Let me try to fix this. See, I don't know what happened. I ain't touch nothing. I ain't do anything. The camera just went out by itself. Right? Right? So who's to say you could wake up tomorrow morning and you look at your bank account and all you see is a zero there. Or the app, not even, you can't even access the app to look at your funds. It's their money. It's their system. Right? Digital ID. See, Vietnam to delete 86 million unverified bank accounts. See? So there's 4 sources with that. Now let's look at this.
Vietnam just froze 86 million bank accounts overnight. That's nearly the entire population of the country. They introduced mandatory biometric verification, or you'd lose access to your money. This all started on September 1st, when accounts without facial scans or fingerprints were just deleted. Now, foreign residents, for example, had to fly back to Vietnam just to save their HSBC account. I actually have an account in Vietnam. Well, I used to, I no longer do. It's just gone. Was there money in it? I'm not sure. No way to find out. There are no remote options, nothing you can do. Now, you might be wondering, okay, I'm not Vietnamese, I haven't got an account in Vietnam, so why does this matter to Americans? Because this is not isolated. Similar moves are happening globally. The same biometric systems being pushed in the US are the systems they used in Vietnam. And we have a precedent now. What happens when governments can freeze accounts at will? Well, if all of this sounds a little overwhelming to you, I'm actually going to put all of this information and much, much more, all my research into a workbook.
So the Vietnam government is showing that they could just delete whole accounts at will because you're not complying with what they say you need to do. And the question is, did anybody vote on that? Did you guys vote? You know what I'm saying? Did the people over there in Vietnam, did they vote for that? Did they have a say? And that's what I'm saying. People don't understand. It don't matter if you don't believe in the Bible. Right now, it don't matter if you don't believe in it. Because believe you me, eventually, everything that is written in it is going to come to pass. And then you'll know, okay, the Bible been real the whole time. But at that point, you're going to be like, dang, what to do? So you could not believe in the Bible. For those who don't believe in the Bible right now, if you're watching, if you're a non-believer, if you're atheist, whatever you want to call yourself, agnostic, you could not believe in the Bible. But when they roll out this, you're going to know that the Bible was real the whole time. The Bible prophesied this day to come years ago. You'll know eventually. So that's what's rolling out right now in the UK, on the other side of the earth. And we see the US is following the same game plan. We've seen that we had the migrants. Now, because, to help alleviate with the migrants, what came out? We got ICE agents, right? The whole big thing with ICE. Who's to say they're not going to follow the same game plan as the UK and be like, you know what? If you all want to work, you want to be able to pay your rent, pay your mortgage, pay your bills, you're going to have to get a digital ID. It's the only way you're going to be able to do it here. They could wake up tomorrow and say that, because apparently they're doing whatever they want to do with your tax money. You don't have a say. So for those of you guys who are watching right now and you believe that your vote counts, tell me where your tax dollars is going. Let's start there. You voting for change. All right. Tell me right now, where is your tax money going? And do you have a say on where your tax dollars go? Because I'm going to show you right now where your tax dollars is going to. Hence why we're in a government shutdown right now. Yeah? Yeah? Let me pull this story up for y'all. Hit that like button, y'all. No, not this. Here you go. And if everybody can, on your, like, if you can just kindly hit that like button. Hit the like button if you can. As you come in, we got 410 people in. We down about close to 200 likes. Just hit the like button and drive the algorithm. Now, which moves me into the politics side of the lies. Right? You see, for years, they've been telling us, don't read the Bible. The Bible is man-made. It's not real. But yet, they're moving closer and closer every day to implementing what the Bible say will come to pass in the last days, the mark of the beast, with this whole digital ID stuff. That's just a step closer to just saying, all right, yeah, we know it was digital. You could pull it up on your phone, but now you're the phone. Your body has become a phone. Yeah, that chip that we put in you, yeah. You're connected to the beast now. So if you want to work, you want to be able to buy or sell, you gotta be one with the beast. You gotta be one with the beast. You gotta be connected to the grid. And the only way we could connect you to the grid is with this little implantable device that you could put either in your hand or in your forehead, either or. And you'll be connected to the system, and we'll be able to, everything will be seamless. You'll scan your hand or you'll scan your forehead, and your doctor could read all your past history chart. So it don't matter if you don't have a PCP, if you don't have a personal care physician, right? You could go to any doctor now, and we could just scan your head, and we'll put up your medical records. How's that sound? Whoa, it's too much passwords for you to remember? It's okay. We got this perfect solution for you. Just put this chip on your hand, and every time you log into your computer, you don't got to remember your passwords anymore. All you got to do is just scan your hand, and we'll know it's you. How'd that sound? Oh, you forgot your debit card? Oh, don't worry about it. Yeah, scan your forehead right here. Put your forehead against the screen real quick, and then let me scan your head. Okay? That's what's coming. So you could believe that the Bible's not real or not. When they scan in your head, you'll know. Yeah, the Bible was real. You got your head pressed up against a screen, and they scan in your head to get your information. You'll know. So now let's move on to the political side of stuff. So now we all know that we're in a government shutdown. So now let's take a look at why we're in a shutdown. Matter of fact, let me do this real quick. Does anybody on the chat even knows? Just really quick. If you know why the government has shut down, put a 1 in the chat. If you know why the government has shut down, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't know why the government shut down, put a 2 in the chat. Really quick. Okay, I see some 1s. I see some 2s coming in. Okay. I see some 1s mixed in with the 2s. Okay. But I see a lot of 2s coming in. Because I didn't know why the government shut down until I seen this video that I'm going to play for y'all just now. like Mike 144 put like 5 2s with some question marks behind it. Because I'm confused just like you, brother. Right? All right. Appreciate it. So there's a lot of more 2s than 1s. So now let's look at it together as to why the government shut down. So now, according to this article, we got 93 sources on this particular topic. It says frustrated lawmakers say lack of trust is making it harder to end the government shutdown. So they're saying lack of trust. What, like trust in what? What we need to trust? Okay, I see. Okay, I see a Maya greeting everybody in the chat. All right. No, it just threw me off. I thought it was somebody spamming, but all right. So now, let me go back to what I was talking about. Where is the lack of trust? What do they need trust from or trust in? So it says lawmakers, including Brad Schneider, are seeking ways to end. They're quote unquote seeking ways to end the government shutdown that has affected federal employees, but trust issues complicate negotiations. So it's negotiations from the left and the right. And when I say left and right, you got the left, which would be considered the Democrats, and the right would be considered the Republicans. So they got some trust factors here, right? Frustrated, you see, you got more articles here. This was 8 hours ago. Frustrated lawmakers say lack of trust is making it hard to end the government shutdown, right? Frustrated lawmakers say lack of trust. He is all over. All right. Senators struggle to find a way forward as U.S. government shutdown enters 9th day. This was article 12 hours ago. So there's something going on behind the scene as to why the government is shut down. And brothers and sisters, I'm going to put it like this. When I found out what the argument was about, I was like, y'all can't be for real. I was like, y'all cannot be for real as to why is this a conversation. Right? So fair use for educational purposes only. And you know, Senator John Kennedy, he's hilarious. Like, and I don't even think he even means to be funny. I don't even think he means to be funny, but he just be funny. He just be saying stuff and it just be funny because he, in his mind, he just can't understand like what's going on. So now let's listen to Senator John Kennedy as to why there's a government shutdown, and he says this live, right? So when I said this, I'm like, yo, this can't be for real. So y'all shut the government down because of this?
And here's what they want us to put back in. We found...
So basically, when he said here's what they want them to put back in, there was a budget, and, you know, President Trump asked them to comb through it and see where the money is actually going, and whatever is not good, just take it out. So they cut a lot of funding from this budget, and now supposedly the Democrats are upset. And the fact that these things was taken out the budget, they was like, you know what, we're shutting the government down. Listen to this.
That under President Biden, they were spending $3 million for circumcisions and vasectomies in Zambia.
So this is where your tax money was going. Listen to what he reads off. It's so bizarre and so insane that this is what they're spending money on. They were sending $3 million to Zambia for circumcisions. Is that the United States, y'all? That's your tax money. And this is why I ask, since if you guys are voters, tell me where your tax money is going to. Do you have a say in where your tax money goes? Absolutely not. You do not have a say, because they're sending 3-point-something million to Zambia for circumcisions. Let me play it again, so maybe you might have not caught that. This is what they're doing with your money.
But that really upset the socialist wing of the party. And so we took out, and here's what they want us to put back in. We found that under President Biden, they were spending $3 million for circumcisions and vasectomies in Zambia.
$300 million for circumcisions and vasectomies in Zambia. Now I'm going to ask, how is that helping the U.S. people? How is that helping the U.S. citizens? And this is what the Democrats want them to put back on the budget.
We took that out. The Congresswoman says, we're going to shut down government till you put that back in. We found $500,000 of American taxpayer money for electric buses in Rwanda.
$500,000 went to electric buses in Rwanda. We still having problems with electric buses that we have here in New York. But y'all got electric buses in Rwanda?
We found $3.6 million for pastry cooking classes and dance focus groups.
What? Hold on, let me play that back. What?
Of American taxpayer money for electric buses in Rwanda. We found $3.6 million for pastry cooking classes and dance focus groups for male prostitutes in Haiti.
This is what you see what they sent to Haiti? They could care less about fixing the government in Haiti. Yeah, let them kill each other. Let the gangs control the cities. But you know what? We got to send $3.6 million for the homosexual, for the male prostitutes and the dancers in Haiti. I believe that, the titles probably could be a cloak for something else, but the fact that y'all sending $3.6 million for male prostitutes in Haiti, I didn't even know that existed in Haiti. That's crazy. That's taxpayer money, though.
Kid you not? I'm not making this up. It was in the budget under President Biden. We took it out. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez in the socialist wing, the loon wing of the Democratic Party, says we're going to shut down government until you put it back in.
They're going to shut down the government because they wanted that $3.6 million to go to the male prostitutes in Haiti. But our vote counts. I trust in this system. I want to be a part of it. I agree with that. And a lot of people don't understand, when you align yourself with that party, this is what you align yourself. This is what you actually are in agreement to that. You are in agreement to $3.6 million going to male prostitutes in Haiti. You signed off on that because they got your vote. That's what you align with.
I'll just read you a few more that we took out. They are demanding we put back in. $6 million for media organizations for the Palestinians.
$6 million going to the Palestinians for media coverage. They're spending $6 million on media coverage for the Palestinians to show what's going on over there. It's all, but mind you, they're staging that. But
$33,000 for transgender people in Nepal. $300,000 for a pride parade in Lesotho.
$300,000 for a pride parade in Lesotho. I don't even know where that is, but I know that's not here in the U.S. This is where taxpayer money is going, y'all. To a pride parade. Whole bunch of freaks that's running this government. And the Most High is looking at us like, yo, this is what y'all wanted, though. Y'all wanted this. Y'all wanted to integrate. See? Look. This is the foolish people I'm going to put over y'all. This is what you wanted. Was it better to be with me or to be under them? What y'all choose? And for our people who still want to be under this system, this is what y'all fighting for. For male prostitutes in Haiti, for a pride parade, all this money being funneled outside of the country. But you proud that you could vote. There was some sisters out there who don't even know left from right talking about I'm only going to vote for Kamala Harris because she's black. She's a black woman. Does that make sense? You're only voting for somebody because of the color of their skin, not what they could do for you? That's how you know we are completely lost as a people. We're done. Cooked.
$82,000 for social media and mentorship in Serbia.
In Serbia?
$4.2 million. We took it out. The Congresswoman and the socialist wing of their party says we got to put that back in for the open government. $4.2 million for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex people in the Western Balkans and Uganda.
$4.6 million going to the LGBTQ community in Uganda. Your money. Your taxpayer money. That could be used here to help you. But nah, it's going to the freaks overseas.
I could spend the rest of the afternoon here. We took all that out. It upset Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. It upset the socialist wing of her party. And now that wing of her party and the Congresswoman are threatening all other Democrats and saying, you've got to shut that government down until we get what we want. And part of what they want is to add this kind of stuff back into the bill. And that's what this fight is all about. We're in the process of negotiating a budget with.
So now they're in the process of negotiating a budget, but now it makes sense as to why they're saying the frustrated lawmakers say lack of trust is making it hard to end the government shutdown. They're negotiating, but they're not. One side is not getting what they want, so to speak. Is what he's saying here.
Our Democratic friends. We ran out of time. The cutoff was midnight Tuesday night. That's when the clock struck midnight and the budget ran out. What we had asked for and what we're still asking for is let's continue to negotiate, we meaning the Republicans and the Democrats, for 6 more weeks and try to agree on a budget. That's all we're asking. We're not asking for any addition.
So they just want to bring a budget. So, but when I heard him say that, are y'all still gonna give them what they want, but not as much? Or y'all just gonna cut it out completely because they're not being clear on that too? Because like I said, they're both two sides of one coin. So instead of sending 3.6 million to Haiti for the male prostitutes, let's cut it down to 1.5 million. Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what y'all negotiating? I mean, because like I said, he's just exposing part of the problem. But at the end of the day, they're all the problem. Because why should that even be a conversation? Why are we even sending money overseas for stuff like that? That has nothing to do with the U.S. people. It has nothing to do with the U.S. citizens. Why should that be a conversation? And why should it be a conversation to fund immoral acts outside of the U.S.? And believe it or not, brothers and sisters, there's probably a lot being funded immorally here in the U.S. that he didn't even address. He's just addressing the immorality that's being funded overseas. What about the immorality that's being funded here on our soil? Why not address that? But they can't, because why? They're all in it together. So they got to paint the picture. They got to show it. They got to show some type of friction to keep that divide, to keep that, Democrats versus Republican, to make it seem like it's something to get you engaged. But they're all serving the same chief. They all have the same agenda at the end of the day.
Additional appropriations, any conditions, any stipulations, all we're asking for is what we call a clean CR. All we're asking for is just further negotiate. And Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, who has done a stellar job in rising to the leadership of her party as a member of the socialist wing. They're about to elect a socialist mayor of New York. I think Mr. Mamdani's going to win.
And he's a socialist. So he's for all the stuff that's in those bills. So what is New York going to look like when he's the mayor? I'm afraid to see what New York is going to look like when he becomes mayor. A lot of the funding that should be going to New York schools and fixing roads and education and programs to help the city is going to be going to the freaks. And you're just going to see New York just keep going downhill because the money that should be going to New Yorkers is going to be going to these crazy programs, these crazy agendas, these crazy so-called organization, civil rights groups. And the main civil rights groups are what? Letter people. So New York, yeah, all right, y'all go ahead and put them in there. See what happens in New York in a couple of years.
They have said to our request, let's just continue the status quo for 6 more weeks. They said, we'll give you 6 more weeks if you will give us $1.5 trillion.
1.5 trillion, that's what
they're demanding. And that's why we're shut down.
They're shut down because they want 1.5 trillion. And even if they could, hold on. And even if they could give that 1.5 trillion, right? Even if they could give that 1.5 trillion, the United States in a whole is in debt. I think what? Is it 3 point something trillion? Let me hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna come back to this video real quick. I got the U.S. debt clock. Hold on, U.S. Let's see. Where is that website? I don't remember what that website is, but let me look at this. Oh, here it goes. So, what is this? I hope I didn't download something. How do you get this off the screen? Hold on. It's just downloading. I did download it. All right, I'll delete it later, but I just want to show this. So, I can't seem to get this off the screen. It's just downloading over and over and over. All right. The U.S. federal tax revenue, where's the debt? Right here, the national debt. Here's the U.S. national debt right here, if you guys could see it right here. So this is hundreds, 100,000, millions, billion. 37 trillion. That's trillion, right? Yep. Hundreds, 100,000s, millions, billions. $37 trillion the U.S. debt is. That's the debt right here. U.S. national debt, right? You got the hundreds, you got the thousands, 100,000, sorry. You got the millions, 100 millions, 100 billions, 37 trillion, right? So this is the debt right there. This is what they're saying the United States owes, right? Where are they going to get 1 point something trillion dollars to fund these sexcapades, these freak offs, and this freak show that they're trying to do? That money should go into the debt. But like we all understand, they just print money. They're printing money that has no value, and they're just printing and adding to the debt, right? But this is what they want.
Now, let me say it again, Mr. President. I don't hate anybody. This is America. I sure don't hate the Congresswoman. She is entitled to her opinion, but I'm entitled to mine. And she can criticize my policy positions, but I'm entitled to criticize hers. And I'm here to tell you, Mr. President, in front of God and country, based on her policy positions that she's demanding, based on her policy positions that she is demanding.
Oh, he's mad
that
now.
I just outlined $1.5 trillion of pure, unadulterated spending porn. Based on that demand, based on her policy positions, the American people are looking at her and saying, this person has single-handedly put an end to dumb blonde jokes. Because that is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Based on her policy positions, $1.5 trillion of this kind of spending porn, the American people are looking at the Congresswoman and saying, with respect, she must be bilingual. She must speak English and stupid. And that's why we're not agreeing to it.
And that's why they not agreeing to it. She must be bilingual. She speaks English and stupid. So this is why the government is shut down, according to what he has said. And when I seen this, I'm like, yo, this is what y'all fighting about. And it all goes back to spending your money. It all goes back to spending your hard-earned money. And matter of fact, before I even read that, y'all remember this? Hold on. Y'all remember, do y'all remember this? Yeah, this was 9 years ago. This was 9 years ago. Do y'all remember this? Y'all remember what happened in Flint, Michigan? Failing Flint. Who knew what and when? Toxic tap water. Y'all remember when Flint, Michigan was going through that crisis where the water was bad and it was brown drinking water and all of that? Look at this. Fair use.
Luminous change in the water was particularly noticeable at bath time.
My youngest would tell me, Mom, it's yellow and it's a filmy, gross, foamy thing. And
this video was 9 years ago. So this was 9 years, close to 10. Matter of fact, now it's 10 years now. They've been dealing with this for 10 years now. The people in Flint, Michigan has been dealing with this for 10 years now. This video is 9 years old.
it would smell like open sewer. But we were being told we're still getting used to the new system. It's safe. It's okay.
But it wasn't okay. Far from it. Flint's tap water was laced with dangerous levels of lead. The state knew about it and did nothing.
The trouble began 2 years ago when the state decided to switch Flint from Detroit's drinking water to a new system. But the new system wouldn't be ready for 2 years. In the meantime, to save money, they switched to the Flint River.
And you see that? They did that. They said they did that to save money. But whenever you hear that to save money, that's code word for a bonus. Okay? That's code word for a bonus at the end of the year. Because you got to understand. Let me break it down to y'all like this. It don't matter what company or government or city, whatever the case is. Like all right, let me break it down from a company standpoint. If a company is given a budget, let's say a company is given a budget of $1 million. And that $1 million has to be spread between, the employees, paying your employees, paying yourself, of course, paying yourself, paying your employees, stocking the shelves, right, buying product, advertisement, whatever the case is. So whatever the company does not spend at the end of the year, where you think that money goes? It doesn't get rolled over to the next year. It goes and they either towards the end of the year, they probably give more overtime to try to spend the budget, or they hold back on overtime so that way they don't spend the budget. So that why? The management of the company can receive a bonus because whatever they don't spend is what? A surplus. So now that's why you're going to understand at the end of the year why certain jobs would give you what's called a Christmas bonus. Because that's money from the budget that they did not spend. That's how it works. So now when you hear the city talk about we're trying to cut back and save money, y'all have a budget. What are you saving? Spend the budget. Spend the money from the budget. Nah, we can't. Because if I spend all that money on the budget, I ain't going to have a bonus. So that's the reason why they did what they did to the people in Flint. They went from using the regular Detroit water system that's filtered and clean to just using water from the river, untreated. But that was going to save them money by doing that. When they say save money, save who money? Who's getting the money at the end of the year? Where's the rest of the budget from the money going to? In their pockets. Watch. You're going to see.
Water.
Look. Look at the black guy in the back. Look at the smile on his face. That's when they switched over to the new system. But this was supposed to save them money. But look how happy they are. Look at them.
That first decision turned out to be a mistake, as did nearly every step the state took.
But you think they cared? They could have easily flipped the switch back off and went back to the old system. Nah, they couldn't do that. Because we gotta save some money. And they were happy to switch it off and put these people's lives at risk. For what? For their own pockets.
After it, Michigan's Department...
Because the question is, if y'all doing it to save money, where's the money that y'all save? Where's the money that y'all saved? And that money that y'all saved, shouldn't it have gone back into the system that you messed up? Shouldn't it have gone back to the community that you affected? That's the question. Where's the money? In their pockets.
Of Environmental Quality shoulders much of the blame, what a preliminary task force report calls an abysmal public response. At the time, the state agency told Flint it didn't have to add an anti-corrosive agent to the water, saying it was not necessary until two
6-month monitoring. So a whole year would have to go by for them to decide if the water needed to be filtered or not. So you gonna tell me it'd take a whole year to see if the water coming through the city is filtered or not? These people are evil, man. All of them. This is what it looks like when you wake up to the lies. You can see what they're doing. You can see the greed in what these people do.
2 6-month monitoring periods had been conducted. In other words, they were willing to wait a year to see whether the water was safe.
And while that year went by, that money from the budget from the money for that year has already been spent. And now they're going to get another budget for the following year to spend on. But it's been 10 years, y'all. Y'all know that? It's been 10 years that they wanted to save on, save the city on expenses.
Meanwhile, highly corrosive river water flowed through the city's lead pipes, leaching lead and other dangerous metals into the water supply. And what came out of the tap in many homes was toxic. Almost.
Now look at the people. Look at them. And these people are hardworking Americans. They pay their taxes, and they don't even have a say on where the money from their taxes and the budget goes. This is what voting got y'all. You don't even have a say. They allow you to come and open up this platform to come and speak your mind, but they don't care because they didn't do anything to fix it. It's been 10 years.
Immediately, residents started complaining. Their water was brown. Some people developed rashes, became sick. Early tests revealed fecal coliform bacteria. So the city and state officials added chlorine to the water supply and told people to boil their water. Both mistakes, which can actually increase the level of lead.
Duh.
I built this place with my tax money.
At city,
you already said, I built this place with my tax money. And this is what it was all along. People are waking up to understanding like, yo, none of this even matters because I'm voting and I don't see where the change is coming. Where's the change? Matter of fact, can I decide what y'all do with my tax money? This system just leaves you broken and frustrated and upset. You see how they do us?
Meetings, residents were repeatedly told the water was safe.
We found the worst lead and water contamination that I have seen in 25 years, and believe me, I've seen a lot.
Residents didn't find out about the lead until this man stepped in. Mark Edwards is a Virginia Tech researcher who tested the water early last year.
It was very scary to see the levels of lead that were hazardous waste levels of lead coming out of her tap water.
That's right. The lead levels in one home were so high, water from the tap could be considered hazardous waste.
Hazardous waste was coming through their pipes. Pipes that they use to bathe. You bathing your children in that. You cleaning your dishes, cleaning your pots. Some people was probably cooking in that. But it was all to save money. Remember, like I said, that word save money is code word for bonus. Because if you're saving on the budget, where is the money going that you didn't spend? Because you're supposed to spend the money. Where is the money? I'm going to show you where the money is at. Here's where the money at. Oh, let me show you. Here's where the money at. Let me go back to it. Here's where the money at, right here. See these guys right here? The people who had the power to switch it off and on. Here's where the budget went. In their pockets. While the community and the citizens of this city suffered, they ran off with the bag. That's all it was. Look. And this was 9 years ago, this video. Look at this. Look at this. Flint, Michigan residents still fighting for safe water 10 years after crisis. 10 years. But y'all could send, I can't have clean water, but y'all could send $3.6 million to male prostitutes in Haiti. That's what you're telling me. And if you don't get it, we're going to shut the government down. But it's okay. It's okay that I can bathe in toxic water. It's okay though. I could bathe in that. But y'all could send my tax money to male prostitutes. Y'all could send my tax money to circumcisions and what was the other thing? Circumcisions and I forgot the other thing. Y'all could send that overseas. I gotta drink dirty tap water for 10 years. I gotta bathe in dirty tap water for 10 years. But y'all could send my money to the LGBTQ community parade in West Africa somewhere. Y'all could spend $6 million or $4.6 million for media coverage in the Palestine. $4.6 million. But I can't have clean water to drink. See what I'm saying, y'all?
In an infamous crisis that put the safety of America's tap water under a microscope, it was the iconic shot. April 25th, 2014, politicians in Flint.
Look at these devils. Look at them. Look at them. And they know dang well they was not drinking tap water. That was all bottled water from somewhere. They was drinking Aquafina. This was Aquafina. This was not Flint, Michigan tap water. What y'all talking about?
14 politicians.
Look at that. Acting like they drinking the tap water. They should be ashamed of themselves. Look at them.
April 25th.
And look at Jake right here. Big old smile in his face. Could care less about his own people. Sold out. He could be Dan for all we know. Danite right here. A serpent, by the way. Look at him. He could be Dan for all we know.
2014, politicians in Flint, Michigan pushed a button switching the city's drinking water source from Detroit's system to the Flint River, later admitting their critical failure to treat that river water, causing it to corrode lead pipes and poison people.
Like they didn't know that was going to happen. You're putting untreated water through a old piping system. And that's hard water that you're putting through a pipe. That's regular science. That's regular general knowledge. You're putting hard water going through the water system as if it's not going to corrode the pipes without it being treated. They have to be treated. If you're sending it through pipes, it's common sense.
We turn now to a growing crisis in Flint, Michigan over the city's water supply.
In the years that followed, Flint became famous for images of murky...
Look at that. The people in Flint, Michigan have to deal with this for 10 years, but y'all sending all of this money to a freak show, a freak fest overseas. And you want me to believe in this. You want me to continue to believe. You want me to continue to vote. You want me to continue to be a part of this lie.
tap water, and cases of contamination, many in children. This week, 10 years later, Melissa Mays says Flint still isn't fully fixed.
If you had to use one word to sum up the fight over the last 10 years, what would it be?
Exhausting. It is.
The last 10 years, y'all. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Exhausting because Flint residents have never been off the front lines of the fight.
The married mom of 3, who still uses bottled water for all drinking and cooking, is a plaintiff in one of multiple lawsuits brought against the city, state, and several current and former officials.
There you go. See that? But y'all want to shut y'all can't fix what's happening here in the US. But y'all gonna shut down because y'all can't send our money to people overseas to do wickedness. But they're banking on us not understanding, not knowing. This is the reason why they have the power to do what they do. Right? This is why they have the power to do what they do. Hold on, what I was going to read here. It's not fair. So they talking about saving on money, but what are you saving? There's a budget for a reason. Every city is given a budget. Now the question is, are y'all overspending on the budget? And 9 out of 10 times, yeah, they're overspending. Right? They're allocating money and they're giving money away to certain organizations that should not be an organization. Like it doesn't make any sense. But yet, in order to keep the freak show going, we're going to cut funding from the people who actually need it so we could continue to fund deviant activity. That's basically what they're showing us. That's basically what Senator John Kennedy just exposed. What they was using the taxpayers' money to fund outside of the U.S. Nah, forget about the citizens. We need these freak-offs overseas. And who's to say, hypothetically, supposedly, that Diddy's freak-offs wasn't funded by your taxpayer dollars? Who's to say? We don't know. We will never know. He's just the fall guy. But who's to say our money wasn't going to that? But every year, taxes go up, right? You got to pay your taxes. You got to do this. You got to do that. You can't question. Just eat this, read this. Don't look around. Don't say nothing. Just accept this, okay? It's good. When are we going to wake up? Matter of fact, not we, but when is the world going to wake up? When the people in the world are going to start to wake up and understand that they've been against you this whole time? When they're going to realize? Let me read this because I got some more videos to play. Well, I didn't read no scripture yet. I got to read a scripture. And thank you all for coming in. Continue to hit that like button on your way in as we continue with the broadcast. But let me read this scripture with you guys. So this is what we're experiencing right here. Eventually, this is what's going to happen to this place. Because what good is it? Somebody ask me. Somebody tell me. Right? They fed us the lie of the American dream, and right, you got to go and get it. You got to do this, pay your taxes, But yet now we starting to see, and they're starting to get exposed to what they're actually doing with our tax dollars. Money that should be helping our communities, helping our children, helping us grow. Is going to foolishness. And the Most High is exposing this whole thing. And this is what this is what we woke up to. Woke up to all of the lies that we were told all these years. Look, Isaiah 47:1, it says what? Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. The virgin daughter of Babylon. And this is how we know it's a prophetic word. And the Most High not making no mistake. The Most High is not talking about ancient Babylon. Because this is how we understand, because this word right here, Most High used this word right here to refer to this Babylon. Virgin. What's so significant about this word virgin right here? When you think of the word virgin, a virgin has never been touched. Right? Pure, you delicate. Right? You a maiden. And the Most High refers to this place as the virgin daughter of Babylon. Because why? It has never been touched by war. It has never seen never seen what the rest of the world have seen concerning destruction, famine, right? Plagues. This is why the Most High considers this place a virgin daughter. Because compared to the rest of the world, this place haven't seen a thing. So this is why the Most High is saying, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. See? You shall no more be called tender and delicate. Right? Because like I said, this place has never experienced what the other parts of the world have experienced. By the time the Most High is done with this place will be reduced to a third world status. Right? It says what? Verse 2 says, take the millstone and grind meal. Uncover thy locks. See? Make bare the legs. Uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. What is this talking about? The Most High is talking about the exposure. When you make bare the legs, you're exposing something. You're exposing yourself. So the Most High is going to expose what this place has always been. So you can't say the Most High word is not real. You can't say the Most High word is not true. Because the videos I just showed y'all today is actually exposing what they've been doing for centuries or for years behind closed doors. We're now getting hip to the game. But the Most High said eventually we will expose this place. Make bare the legs, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be what? Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. So the Most High not making no mistakes. So before the Most High completely wipes this place out, he's going to expose every last and dark secret concerning this place. Everything that they didn't, that they gave us half truths on, the Most High is going to expose. Can't make this up. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Lady Liberty shall no longer be called the Lady of Kingdoms. See, look at this. I was wroth with my people. Talking about Israel. When I say Israel, I'm talking about the real Israel. The children of slaves. I was wroth with my people. I polluted my inheritance and gave them into thine hand. thou didst show them no mercy. See? And through their policies, we see that they have no mercy on us. They don't care about us. They don't care about fixing our communities. They don't care if we don't have proper funding for our schools and our education, our children. They don't care as long as they get the bag. I was rough with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and gave them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancients hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. They make us work and work and work to hopefully get a pension. And by the time you're able to retire, you're close to death. This is how they do us. And said, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. America is gonna keep going forever. We always gonna be here. So that thou didst not lay these things to thine heart. You didn't think at one day that famine and pestilence and destruction could come here. You didn't put that in the plans. Neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures. And according to this government shutdown, we see the pleasures that they're given into with your money. That he said, therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am and none else besides me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of what? Of thy sorceries. Because it's sorcery for them to convince you that they're going to do something for you. All you got to do is vote and don't do it. And year after year, you fall for the same old trick. That's sorcery. That's high-level wizardry. Hogwarts ain't got nothing on them. And for the great abundance of thine enchantments. See that? For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Oh, we see you now. We definitely see you now. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. So they ain't even going to know when it comes. It's just going to come. And mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. You see that? So the Most High is not playing with this place. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so, be thou shalt be able to profit. If so, be thou mayest prevail. Right? So the Most High is not overlooking what they're doing. All this trickery, all their word semantics that they play. They tell you one thing, but behind closed doors, they doing something completely different. Okay? Most High did not forget the virgin daughter of Babylon, because look what they're doing. Look what they're doing to us. Not just to us, but look what they're doing to mankind worldwide. Right? So we spoke about the digital currency. We spoke about the government. Right? Is there more in the government? I'll talk about that. I don't really want to talk about that. Now, let's talk about the religion. Because now that we're seeing the lies, everything is getting uncovered. To the point where what? Look at this article. This article was about 7 months ago, February. Listen, look at this. Right? 100,000 U.S. churches may close by the year 2050. What can be done? So they're even tracking all of the churches that are being closed. So they're saying, but at the rate that these churches are closing, by 2050 it could be 100,000 churches. 30% of U.S. churches face the brink of, and they got it in quotes, the brink of extinction. Because you know why? Now that Judah has woken up, the children of Israel has waken up, there's no need for these churches, because these churches were used to keep us asleep. Majority of these churches, a lot of these modern day Christian churches were used to keep us asleep. So now they don't have any use for them, because why? We're waking up. So they project by 2050, 100,000 churches, U.S. churches, will close and will be extinct. Okay, I don't know. No, get out of here. All right. In 2010, so look, they've been tracking this since 2010. So it says in 2010, the United States Methodist Church, where my family worshiped, boasted some 250 members. That's a lot of people. That may not sound like much, but the church was a behemoth in our rural community. We had by far the largest congregation, the biggest and the best facilities around, and the resources to pull off many things other local churches could only dream of. Post-COVID, COVID was when they really started to crack down and start shutting down these churches. A lot of churches after COVID aren't even churches anymore. They couldn't even sustain. People was not even coming because they was afraid to leave the home. That's what COVID was designed to do. Post-COVID, right, the church has halved despite its best efforts to grow. So a lot of churches have been cut in half. The church has tried offering a traditional and contemporary service, going all in on children's ministries, right? Because why? It starts with the youth. Remember, we talked about that last week. We got to get the youth. So they tried to focus on the youth, and hopefully they would grow up to keep the tradition alive. But like I said, we're the new parents. So a lot of us are waking up to the foolishness of modern day Christian church. It says they was focusing on the children's ministry, hosting huge community events and meeting financial needs in the community as much as possible. Yet here the congregation is half of its former size. See that? So let me jump down here. In 2019, the most recent years for which Lifeway Research collected data, some 4,500 Protestant churches have closed, compared to only 3,000 new churches opening, for a net loss of 1,500 congregations. See that? So they're tracking the rate that these Christian churches are closing. Christian churches are down bad. So bad to the point, I got to show this. Christian church are doing bad. I got to show this. I seen this earlier this week, and I'm like, nah. This is what they're doing now in these churches? This is what church has become? Okay, I guess if that's what brings the people, if that's what keep the the collection going, I mean, by all means, I guess do it. But it's being exposed, but the Christian churches are being exposed for what they were already made for. To keep you entertained. Keep you distracted. And I need y'all to see what's been going on in the Christian church as of late. And when I seen this video, I was like, yo, hold on. So let me make sure y'all have sound so y'all could see it, because y'all can hear it as well too. So look, when the pastor becomes Mario instead of preaching the Messiah. What? Pastor Stephen Cole goes Super Mario. Check it out. It says this isn't church. It's a circus with a pulpit. Let's watch the video.
So much, I gotta play this game.
Posting.
Love Mario so.
Take a look at this. The Christian church are down bad. Christian churches, they are down bad. This is the reason why by 2050, 100,000 of them is going to be closed down, because this is what they're resulting to.
Much, I gotta play this game. There it is. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Come on. Ah, the power up. Let's go. Come on.
Look at what they got to do in these Christian churches. It looked more like a concert to me than I'm coming to get the word. It looked like I'm watching a Broadway play right now, Broadway musical. It goes where your tithes and donations is going to, Christians. Turn your pastor into Mario. And he got the band, the musicians is playing this. The theme song. It's the Christian church. And can you imagine the band just going to rehearsal and rehearsing this? Like that was rehearsal for they learning this, the Mario theme song, gameplay music.
Here we go. We're the Mario Brothers.
And dummies again. We're not like the others who get off the fan. When you see is in trouble, we call because I'm a double. You got me from your
Love Mario so much, I gotta play this game. There it is. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Come on. Ah, the power up.
There you go. That's the only theme song I could really play after seeing that. This is what the Christian churches has resulted to. Because they got to find a way to keep people coming in. I mean, people are not coming for the word. They're not drawn by the word. They don't, and because the thing is, they're not really equipped. They're not equipped to really give the word, to teach the word, to break it down, to let them to help the people see what's happening outside of church, what's happening around them in the world, and how can they see it through scripture. These churches aren't equipped to help the people. This is the reason why they gotta resort to Mario. This is where their tithes and donations is going to. Digitizing your pastor and turning them into Mario. and more on religion. I gotta pull this up too. I've seen this video too. And this is how you know that we have awakened. Did I save this? Did I save that video? I gotta find that video real quick. Hold on. Did I save it? No, it's not it. Is it this? No. I have to find that video. I gotta show y'all this video. I don't think I saved it. Hold on, give me 1 second. Exposing more of some dark truths. And you see, now that they have no use for the Christian church, they could expose, they could now come to the forefront and show them who the Christians really been supporting this whole time. I gotta find this video. Give me 1 second. And brothers and sisters, continue to hit that like button on your way in. Y'all doing a great job doing that. Y'all driving the traffic. Y'all got people coming in, right? Let me see if I can find this video. Did I save it? I didn't save it. 1 second. I'm going to find this video. I forget who sent it to me. Wow. The person who posted the video, it got deleted or is hidden. Let me see if I can pull it up on YouTube. I have to show this because it was insane what was coming out of this lady's mouth. 1 second. Let me find this video. It was insane. And shout out to my Ak from Virginia who sent me that video on Instagram earlier this week. I don't even know how I could search it up. Let me see. What it was, Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur. Let me see. No. Sorry, let me see. Okay, Yom Kippur service. Let me see if it comes up. There was something that this lady was saying, and she said it, and I'm like, yo, did anybody hear are people listening to what this lady is saying? I gotta see if I can find it. There's a 3-hour video here, but give me one.
Did you know that simply?
No, I didn't know. Give me 1 second. I gotta find this video for y'all. I thought it was still on Instagram, but apparently they deleted it. They deleted that thing. So now I'm gonna have to search for it. But if anybody if you're watching and you know the video that I'm talking about, send it to me on Instagram. If I could find it. Is this it right here? Oh, no. We don't want to hear none of that. It was a lady speaking. It was like a Jewish lady speaking. And if anybody know the video that I'm talking about, send it to me so I can play it. But in the video, since I can't find it, they was having their annual Yom Kippur service. And for those of you guys who don't know what Yom Kippur is, that's their version of the Day of Atonement, right? That's their version of the Day of Atonement. And I don't know if she was giving a mass, she was speaking. Let's see if I can try. I don't think they even have it up. They must have took that thing down, right? And they was having a service, and she basically, yes, about human sacrifice. You're right, yes. She was basically saying that, you know, sacrifices have to be made. And they know that they've been sacrificing to the gods to keep the gods happy. So that way, people have to be sacrificed so that way others could live. And when I seen that, I'm like, yo, what? They just coming out and telling them. But you know what it is? A lot of the Christians are still so asleep that they will overlook that and still support these people. And these people are involved in child sacrifice. Hold on, let me see. Let me write. Let me see if I can find it. I'm trying to see if I can find it. 6 days ago. Is this it? Nah, I don't remember what it looked like, what the lady looked like. But if somebody know, somebody says on TikTok, just send it to me. Cause I wanted to play that video. I wanted to show y'all people. I wanted to show the people out there what y'all agree with, what y'all, you know what I mean? What y'all are aligning yourselves with. What is this? Somebody, okay, what's your info? You could send it to me on Instagram or you could send it to me on TikTok. I think I do. I have a TikTok. I barely even use it. If the video is on TikTok, you could send it to my TikTok. Do you think about the days when we stop? Okay, I just opened up TikTok and it just started playing this music. So my TikTok is the same credentials as my Instagram. born_of_Levi. So send it to me on TikTok so I could play it. Because apparently they took it down off Instagram. So Christopher asked, what's your info? Yeah, is the same. I'm gonna write it in the chat. My credentials on TikTok is the same as what is this? Right? Is the same credentials as my Instagram. So I'm gonna write it in the chat so you can send it to me on TikTok. I need y'all to see this video. I need y'all, for those of you guys who didn't see it and didn't hear it, they just coming out with it now. They don't gotta hide nothing because they understand that the Christian church is dismantled. Right? They shutting them down. They pulling back funding from these pastors. Right? And they don't need them anymore. They don't have no need for them. Yeah, so whenever you can, send me that video so I could play it for the brothers and sisters to see it. And I need y'all to hear. Let me just come off this thing. I just need y'all to hear what this lady was saying. Basically just proving everything that we've been understanding according to scripture when it comes to child sacrifice and the god Moloch, right? Them getting their power from sacrificing to that particular god. And apparently that video must have struck a nerve to the algorithms because they took that video down off of Instagram. So let me check my Instagram and see if it got there. But matter of fact, while I'm waiting for that to come in, let me read this scripture with y'all. And it's not like the Most High didn't tell us that this would have happened to us, that we would be in this predicament, that we would fall asleep, and while we're asleep, this this is what we would have to deal with upon the wake up. But look at this. The Most High understood it. The Most High understood that we would be this kind of people. So I'm in Deuteronomy. I just got to make sure this thing don't play no loud music. Right? Did you send me the thing? I'm trying to see. Like I said, I barely use TikTok, so I don't even know how to use it. Like, let me see. Whenever you can, just send that video over to me, because I didn't see it pop up yet. But let me read the scripture. In Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 15. And this is what the Most High knew about the children of Israel. And Moses was telling us that. He said, but Jeshurun waxed fat. And who is Jeshurun? For those who may not know, Jeshurun is like a nickname for Israel. All right, is like a nickname. Like, you know how you have children and you name your children, but you don't ever call your children by their first name unless they're in trouble. You usually call them by their nickname, right? So this is the nickname for the children of Israel that the Most High gave us, right? Jeshurun, right? It says, but Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook the Most High, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. So this is what started to happen to the children of Israel, right? We already had everything already. We had everything. We had it all, right? And then we started to get puffed up as if we were doing it ourselves. And this is what caused us to start running after the other nations. This is why I said earlier in the broadcast that we always, as a people, always wanted to integrate with the other nations. Right? We always wanted to integrate. Why? Look, verse 16. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. And that's the thing. If you want to be down with these other nations, you got to be down with their gods. That's what they don't be telling you. That's what they're not telling you. So this is the reason why they got to get you to vote, because when you vote, you down with their gods. When you celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving, and all of these pagan holidays, you're down with their gods. They're not telling you that, but your energy goes to their gods. And by default, you eventually end up giving your children over to their gods, because you're giving your energy to them. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. With abominations provoke they him. They sacrificed unto devils. You see? This is what we started doing. We started giving our sacrifices over to devils, not to the Most High, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. So our forefathers, Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they knew nothing about the gods we were sacrificing to. Of the rock that begot thee, thou art unmindful. Thou art unmindful. We started to undermine the power and the God that saved us. That's the reason why we started giving our sacrifices and honoring and worshiping strange gods, the gods of the nations, because we wanted to be like the other nations. We wanted to be like them. We wanted to integrate. And has forgotten God that formed thee. And when the Lord saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. What does that mean? How do we provoke his sons and his daughters? By offering them up to those gods. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be. For they are a very froward generation, children in whom is no faith. Right? They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me into anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are, see? And I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. Now you see why we're under the hands of these fools. They're using the money that should help the people and spending it on debauchery, on a debaucherous lifestyle. You don't have no say in what they do. They implement all these laws that have nothing to do with you, that doesn't benefit you, that doesn't help you. But yet you cry. No justice, no peace. Equal rights. But the Most High said he's going to move us to jealousy with a foolish people. See? He says, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. Meaning these people should not be ruling over you. These people don't have anything good going for themselves, but yet they rule over you. Because why? You wanted to be a part of them. You wanted to integrate. And this is how they keep that cycle going, by getting your energy by voting. Getting you to feel as if you're being heard. And using your strength, your energy, your money for their wickedness. And you get nothing out of it. See? For a fire is kindled in mine anger, and shall burn unto the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. I will heap mischief upon them. I will spend my arrows, or send my arrows upon them. So the Most High is doing this because he's like, yo, this is what y'all wanted all along. So because this is what y'all wanted all along, I'm going to show you what you're going to receive. Matter of fact, I'm going to put these same crazy, demented, lunatic people, I'm going to make them over you. And you're not going to have no say in what they do, and you're just going to accept it because I put them over you. See? So now I still don't see the video if you sent it to me. Hey, Christopher, did you send me the video? Because I don't see it in my inbox. I don't even know how I'm supposed to find this thing. It won't let me send it. That's weird. That's weird. It won't let him send the video. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy conspiracy. That's crazy work right there. So you can't send me the video? Maybe I could find it on YouTube, on TikTok. What's the name? What's the title of it? Just type in Yom Kippur human. Okay, the water. That's crazy. That's crazy that you can't send a video. Wow. Hold on. Let's see. Just type in. Okay, Yom Kippur human. I gotta show y'all this video. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Select it. Copy. Let's see.
Always talking to your shot.
Keep on coming up. I don't even know. Like I'm such okay. I don't even know how to search on this thing. All right, hold on. That's how much I don't use this platform. All right. Let's see. Oh, I found it right here. The water Ock. Yo, shout out to you, Christopher. Shout out to you. You a real one. See, I knew somebody seen it. But for those of you who didn't see it, and I'm gonna end it with this video right here. I'm gonna end it with this. Right? Because now that they have no use for the Christian churches, they could come out and say what they really want to say, right?
Young men we call soldiers.
Hold on.
Praise be to Abba Yahaya.
What? Hold on real quick. What? Hold on. Who was that?
The greatest lie humanity tells itself is that we have outgrown human sacrifice.
Whoa. Y'all heard that? It said, I gotta say, I'm gonna save this video. It says, she said the greatest lie that humans have taught themselves is human sacrifice is not necessary. Let me play it back from the top.
The greatest lie humanity tells itself is that we have outgrown human sacrifice. We call it by different names now and make our offering to different gods. We offer young men we call soldiers, as if the designation means that their mothers cry less when they die.
And she's not lying with that too, because what usually happens when someone passes away from war or loses their life in war. When they usually have in their service, they'll say, he gave the ultimate sacrifice. She made the ultimate sacrifice. So they've been telling us this whole time. We just not paying attention. So she not wrong with that. You going into war, you losing your life through that. You sacrificed to the God of war.
We call masses of humanity collateral damage and turn our eyes away from the pictures of their lifeless bodies as we sip our morning coffee. And the truth is, we don't do it because we are heartless. We do it because we believe that it is necessary for the world to keep running.
She said, we don't do it because we're heartless. We do it because it is necessary to keep the world running. So these people are fully aware of where they get their power from. In exchange for power, they have to offer a sacrifice. And you know what movie they put that into? Not to be long-winded. They put that in that the last King Arthur movie. And I'm a big fan of King Arthur. For some reason, I connect with King Arthur. That movie. I feel like that was us. Probably maybe somewhere down the line we'll learn or we'll figure out that King Arthur was really a story about our people. But in that movie, his brother, to gain power or to gain the kingdom, had to sacrifice his wife and his daughter to this sea creature. It was a demon, and he was able to get power. So that's not nothing new, right? And if you don't know it, it's because you're not reading the Bible. Your pastor ain't tell you about it. But look, she said, we do it because we believe that the gods, matter of fact, she didn't even say that yet, but let me read it. Let me play it.
We do it because we believe that the gods whose favor we so desperately seek, freedom.
The gods of whose favor we desperately seek, while they're celebrating their Jewish pagan holidays, this is what they understand. They know the God who they serve. And best believing brothers and sisters, they know that they're not serving or worshiping the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They know. She's telling you.
Security, prosperity, flourishing. That they demand blood.
Security, prosperity, and flourishing. They demand what?
Blood as the price of their favor.
We
do it because we cannot see any favor. We do it because that they demand blood as the price of their favor. We do it because we cannot see any other choice. And maybe that's why we read the Akedah, the binding of Isaac, on Rosh Hashanah. Because the story of the Akedah isn't about inconceivable obedience. When Abraham prepares to sacrifice Isaac, he is just accepting the same bargain of blood we still accept today.
They're trying to make it seem as if Abraham was into child sacrifice because he was going to offer up Isaac. But at the end of the day, did the Most High accept Isaac's blood? No. There was a ram in the thicket right there, and he used the ram instead of Isaac. But this is what they use to accept what they call as child sacrifice.
Some need to die for the world to flourish.
Some need to die for the world to flourish. This is what the other nations understand. Now that the Christian church has been dismantled, they could come out and tell you what they're really doing now. You can't make this stuff even if you tried. Can't make it up. But people want to say the Bible is not real. People don't want to believe the Bible is real. People still want to follow what the talking heads is saying online on TV. But we're crazy. We're the Hebrew Israelites. We're the ones in the cult. We're the hate group. We're the criminals. Right? We're the person of interest. That should tell you enough. If they could come out openly and talk about child sacrifice and saying it's a necessary thing, and you still don't believe what God they serve, you still don't believe that God is not real, you still don't believe you still don't believe that God is real, you still don't believe in the devil and all of this madness and spiritual warfare and all, you don't believe in that, all right, eventually you're gonna find out. Like, I mean, what else can I say? Eventually you will find out. When they implement the mark of the beast and you can no longer buy or sell unless you get the mark, you're gonna know that the Bible is real. You're going to know that the Bible is real. Hold on, let me read that last thing. You're going to know that the Bible is real. Matter of fact, I got to read this, and then I'm going to close it out. We've been on long enough. It's about to be midnight. I can't have y'all on too late. Right? Where is it? Where's the scripture I was looking at? All right. Last scripture. Last scripture. Oh, right here. I'm sorry. 1 Thessalonians. Last scripture. Okay, last scripture. Okay. 1 Thessalonians. I'm in Timothy's. Sorry. 1 Thessalonians 5:1. Right here. All right. But of the times and season, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Right? So we know that the day of Christ is coming is like a thief in the night. Thief in the night. No one knows when a thief is going to break into your home. That's how it's going to be when Christ returns. Everybody going to be operating, doing what you all usually do, then boom. Right? For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right? I got another scripture that I want to pull up for you too. So best believe, we're not going to be the ones getting caught up, because now we can see through the lies. We understand now. We can see it. Most High is exposing it right before our eyes, as he prophesied. Right? So like this is matter of fact, I want to read this. Okay? Because like I was saying, for all of these people that want to say that the Bible is not real, right? And all of these people that want to act like God don't exist, eventually you're going to know. Right? Eventually, you're going to understand. Hold on. No, not this one. And all y'all going to understand. But let me read this scripture for y'all. I'm going to read this one in Exodus. And this is the time when the Most High was delivering the children of Israel out of Egypt. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at verse 13. Exodus 9:13. And the Lord said unto Moses, rise up early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh, and say unto him, thus saith the Lord God of the Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me. For I will at this time send all my plagues upon thine heart, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth. Pen drop, mic drop, and that's an emphatic statement. Eventually, all will know there is none like our God. There is none like the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So you could play dumb if you want. Act like you don't hear no evil, you don't see no evil, you don't speak no evil. Okay, good. It's all right. You can act like none of this stuff is going to hurt you. None of this stuff is going to affect you. It's not going to affect your lives. That thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth. And when the Most High sent those plagues, right? Best believe when the Most High sent those plagues to Egypt, the Egyptians didn't believe in the Most High. Pharaoh even said to Moses, like, yo, who is this God that I should obey him? That's how arrogant he was. I don't know the gods of the Hebrews. Who is this God? Who is he that I should obey him? And that's why the Most High sent Moses back and said, tell him this. Eventually you're gonna know. You ain't never ran across a God like me before. And as it was spoken, so it was done. And it's gonna happen again. Because a lot of people are sleeping on the God of the Hebrews. A lot of people are sleeping on the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the reason why the Jewish people, or during Yom Kippur, they were able to make such a statement like that. They think that they're getting their power from their gods, and she said it plural, gods, plural. And of course, right now, they're getting their power from their gods, which is, it's evident. We can see y'all have the control. But what's gonna happen? Matter of fact, last scripture. This has popped up in my mind. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen when this happens? What's gonna happen when the seventh bowl is poured out from the seventh angel? What's gonna happen then? Yeah, your gods is giving you power right now. Yeah, y'all running things now for sure. Okay, I ain't mad at y'all. This is just y'all time to rule. But what's going to happen when this actually happened? Revelation 16 and 17. I promise y'all, this last scripture, then I'm out of here. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the what? Into the air. Right? And there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven, from the throne, saying, it is done. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since man were upon the earth. So mighty an earthquake and so great. At that point, you're going to be calling for God. Because you ain't never seen nothing like this before. You ain't never experienced this before. All of that tough guy persona that you may have, and that, we the glory of kingdoms, all that, it's going to be an afterthought when this happens. And the great city was divided into 3 parts. And the cities of the nations fell. And great Babylon came in remembrance before the Most High, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. Let me read this because it's cut off on your side. It says, and there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed the Most High because of the plagues of the hail, for the plagues thereof was exceeding great. So who y'all gonna turn to when the Most High do this? All your sacrificing to your gods ain't gonna mean nothing in this day. And best believe it's gonna come to pass because he spoke it. We're like I said this before, we're just living. We're just living it out now. We're playing it out, but it's already been done. Most High spoke it. This already. The Most High seen this happen already. He's just telling us what's going to happen. We're just living. We're catching up to the Most High's words. That's just basically what it is. Most High's words is eternal. We're catching up to his word. Let that sink in. Right? So all your sacrificing to your gods ain't going to mean nothing in this day. Ain't going to mean nothing. Right? And with that, that's the end of the broadcast right there. It's the end of the broadcast. Man, I wish I could open it up for some calls right now, but it's 11:48. It's about to be midnight. And I do apologize for my schedule. I know I work late now, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? But I'm still doing my due diligence to still come before y'all and bring y'all this heat from the Most High, man. I still got to bring y'all this heat, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? A great dispensation will be placed upon me if I do not this gospel. Like Paul said. So is it, we got to do it. We got to do our due diligence. We got to keep our hand on the plow. We got to help the Most High's people. We got to help wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And, yeah, man, I appreciate y'all staying on, man. Listen, none of y'all better call out from work tomorrow. Y'all better not call out of work tomorrow. Talking about I had y'all up late. Go to work and go to school. Y'all all up in here. 400 of y'all up in here. Still up. But I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. I really do appreciate y'all. Man, I really appreciate y'all coming out and being here at this hour.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're now tuned into the Born of Levi experience.
So, yes, this was a great broadcast. Man, I pray this was edifying to those who are watching, those who are listening. I hope I gave y'all some extra motivation to understand, like, yo, there's really nothing left here. Like, I hope I really motivated y'all to understand that, like, yo, there's really nothing to hold on to here. The Most High is really exposing what these clowns have been doing for years. So now, after he's exposing them, he's looking at you like, okay, are you still going to choose this world, or are you going to choose me? Which one? I mean, that the choice should be even easier now. I mean, come on. I mean, you okay with them sending $4.6 billion to male prostitutes in Haiti? You good with that? Come on. You decide. But with that being said, brothers and sisters, I love y'all. Stay prayed up. Sin not. Have a blessed day tomorrow, right? Make sure you have a blessed day. Listen, stay prayed up. Before you leave your house, pray. You know what I'm saying? Pray that the Most High is protecting you. Ask for his protection. Ask for his guidance. Because I'm telling you, the devil, he's out here, right? And his legions is out here. They looking to distract you. They looking to throw you off the path. They're looking to frustrate you. All to get you to not receive the promise. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that, brothers and sisters? All that they do is for you not to receive what they can't get. You're special. They know it, but you have to know that as well too. And also understand, like, even if you go through a little situation, it's gonna pass. It always pass. And guess what? It's gonna pass. And you're going to come back, you're going to come out on top where the Most High really wanted you to be anyways. They try to throw you off, try to stumble you. But trust and believe. Trust the process. Trust the process, right? And don't get swindled. Don't get swayed. Don't get distracted. But keep your hand on the plow, right? Have a blessed weekend. Have a blessed day tomorrow, first and foremost. Also have a blessed Shabbat. And Most High willing, I will see you all, Most High willing, if it's his will, next week. All right. I'll catch you all in the next one. Be good. Be blessed. Yeshua be with you all. Have a good night. I'm out of here.
Are you tired of reading the Bible and not really understanding what it means? Yo, you know you're reading the book upside down? I need a teacher. I got the perfect solution for you. The Hebrew and Bible Academy got you all covered. There, you'll learn the original Hebrew language with Elder Lawya, groundbreaking news from around the world with Elder Rawchaa, and all new up-to-date lessons, including ancient history with Elder Rawchaa. Visit us at historytimes.org and enroll there. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You're invited.